Alright guys, let's divide this video into two sections, okay? So the first two, let's call them tricks, okay? Tricks that helped me become above average, and hopefully, I mean, it should help you as well, because it helped me. So the first two tricks might be considered obvious, okay? And the last two tricks that I will talk about at the end are kind of more advanced. And in fact, the very last trick I learned literally just recently myself. I figured all of it out myself through experience, because I've played shooter games since I was a kid. Most of my life I've played shooter games a lot. So anyway, the first trick actually I learned as a kid when I played the best shooter game in the world, SWAT 4. But it doesn't matter. The point is, in multiplayer, okay? When you play again in multiplayer against other players, you always want to shoot. For example, let's say we have a good example, right? So let's say it's our enemy. Imagine that he can move right and left, right? Let's say he runs to the right, okay? So what we do is, it might seem obvious to some people, but as I said, it wasn't obvious to me, and it's possible that it's not obvious to you. You shoot him here, where he is gonna be, okay? Not here, because it's too far away. But just slightly to the right, okay? When he runs to the right. If he runs to the left, obviously we shoot him to the left, okay? If you are going to shoot him where he at the moment appears on your screen, then the game, in my experience, never registers the hit. Okay, I could never get kills when I played SWAT 4 as a kid. I could never get kills that way. You want to shoot to the right or to the left, depending on where he moves. So that helped me a lot. Okay, and it wasn't obvious to me at all. I repeat again. So if he runs towards you, of course you can just shoot him, like this, because he runs towards you. Of course the game will register it. Okay, next thing, second thing I learned, it might seem obvious, but you want to adjust your aim sensitivity, which I don't remember if, I'm pretty sure there was a way to do it in Halo. But I don't remember where. Basically, there should be a way to. I'm pretty sure that should be it, but apparently it isn't. I don't know. There should be a way to adjust your aim, right? Why? You might ask why. Well, because when you play a lot, you notice the same pattern, okay? For example, I see my enemy here, right? I see my enemy with, the corner of my eye. And I immediately kind of snap, right? I immediately snap. And see, that's where, it's just an example, but let's say I saw him here, right? And then I snap. Okay? Like that. Quick movement. So, and then I notice, the pattern that I always do. I always kind of aim slightly to the left, okay? Because even if I feel like I moved it here, but I always aim to the left, right? Or maybe to the right, okay? Maybe I snap to the right and never get far enough to where I feel my aim should be, right? My aim should immediately snap like this to the head. That's how I feel it. So that's what you notice when you play a lot, and then you adjust your aim. You lower it or you make it higher, and then kind of play around it. You see what works for you. I already adjusted my aim, and although I don't remember how I did it, I couldn't find it right now. But you get what I'm saying. Any shooter game, should give you this ability, okay, to adjust your aim. So adjust your aim. Second thing that really helped me. Okay, now we go to slightly more, I guess, less obvious tricks. So here is the thing. When we move, okay, let's say, let's go to another location really quick. Okay, so let's say we have a path here, right? So I move towards this path. You always want to imagine where your enemy's head will be, okay? You always want to imagine where your enemy's head will be, because you will be shooting enemy's head, right? You will try to do as many headshots. Well, you will try to do a headshot. Why? Because in any shooter game, shooting the head always does the most damage. And that's exactly what we want. We want the most damage. We want to deal the most damage to our enemy. So we always walk. Well, not always, but every time you walk in corridors, for example, right, and you expect to see someone, you always have your aim at the same level, at the level of their head, okay? If that makes sense. So it's always the same kind of horizontal. It's always the same horizontal kind of, movement, right? It's always going to be, around that level. Because again, I imagine my enemy's head will be, and then my aim is already kind of ready. I'm ready to shoot, right? I'm ready to shoot at the level of their head. If I see my enemy already kind of ready to shoot. So another trick is that pro players don't tell you, okay? Even though I'm not a pro player myself, I'm above average, but I hope these tricks will kind of help you become above average too. You at least, like, you will not become a pro player, but at least you will be you will stop being dead weight for your team, right? If you're a bad player or average, you will improve. So okay, the last trick I learned like a week ago, or not a week, maybe, yeah, around that time, maybe 5 days ago or 6 days ago. It doesn't matter. Point is, the last thing, let's go back. The last thing you have to learn. In some situations, okay, you don't look at your enemy when you snap like this. You don't look at your enemy. I see enemy with the corner of my eye, okay? So you don't snap like this and look at your enemy, right? You look at your aim. You look at your aim itself, okay? So again, this is my aim, right? The blue thing at the center. This is my aim. At the center, this is my aim. So I look at my aim. And then I move my aim towards my enemy, okay? And that actually helped me, okay? That is, like, probably, the most unobvious to me. It was the most unobvious to me. I learned it literally just recently. You can move your aim towards your enemy, right? You don't shoot. The thing is, I would always shoot, even though I feel like it. But even then, it doesn't always work, right? So even though I feel like my enemy is here and I immediately snap around that level, I can still miss. Okay, sometimes you have to look at your aim and kind of move your aim towards your enemy's head, okay? So you don't look at your enemy. You still see enemy with corner of your eye, but you move aim towards your enemy, okay? That helped me a lot. Literally, as I said before, learned it, week ago. Again, literally, as I said before, I learned it a week ago. So, there you have it. Now, but as a bonus, I guess, how do you become a pro player? What do you need to become a pro player? Well, that's a thing for. You need very very high reaction time. Okay, first things first, you need very high reaction time. You know, pro players have basically anything below 190 milliseconds. Okay, 190 milliseconds is, you know, below that. That's what you're looking at. That's the kind of reaction time that pro players have. Okay, that is not something you can train. Okay, reaction time cannot be trained. You either have a fast reaction time or slow reaction time. Fast, again, reaction time cannot be trained. You either have fast reaction time or slow reaction time, and it's completely, you know, natural. Whatever you are, however you are born, essentially, what you abilities you were born with. That's your limitations. So if you don't have this reaction time, you will never become a pro player. Another thing you need is good eye-hand coordination. Now, to be fair, somebody joined. To be fair, a good eye-hand coordination is something you probably can train. I think you can train it, but reaction time, you either have it or you don't. And the last thing, I'm a bit distracted because somebody joined. Oh yeah, game sense. You also need game sense, which I don't really know how to explain, but pro players kind of have this super awareness. Okay, pro players have this super awareness of their surroundings and they know where you are. Okay. I don't know how to explain it. Maybe pro player could explain it. I don't know. But yeah, they, you know. Yeah, I think that's it.